think of Bill Taggart?
Are you for or against human enhancement?
I just can't subscribe to Taggart's Neanderthal.
He doesn't want you to better yourself. He wants to limit you. He wants the government to have jurisdiction over your body. You want to get all...
I don't know how it happened. One second it was a peaceful demonstration near the limb clinic. The next, people are running towards Sarif Plaza grabbing anything they could.
You don't have to get uppity just because I don't agree with you on this.
I'm not getting hot. It just frustrates me how some of you pro-humanists act so superior. Like you have all the answers to every ethical question ever posed.
Well, who are you to think you can just turn yourself into robots, abuse drugs, and then think you can function freely in our society?
You and that asshole Taggart just try to take away my freedom and see what happens. Sorry, but I need to finish this discussion.
Some people just need to calm down.
I was a victim of this anti-off-track
The press conference is still going on.
Shouldn't be here, sir.
Over here! Gotta trigger the alarm! He's on the run! Come out! I'm coming to get you! I heard that!
Come out!
He's on the run!
I heard that. Come out!
Cost letters posted.
Yeah. Backstage area is completely blocked off. Even the janitor can't get back there. You expect a contortionist? I said you could try to assassinate Taggart?
Okay, smart.
Human evolution is a fantasy, but that is exactly what I am telling you. As a world...
Where's your sidekick, Taggart? 6 months ago, Sarif Industries was attacked by mercenaries whose objective was to cripple our research. But I've learned the attack was just a smokescreen. Megan Reed's team was kidnapped, and Isaiah Sandoval, your personal aide, was involved.
That is ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for Mr. Jensen's intrusion, and I assure you that these accusations are without basis.
Are they?
This is Sandoval. Why are you calling me here?
There's been a change of plans. Serif's team must not make it to the hearing.
But that's too soon. If you want me to remove the GPLs, I'll need a full operating suite. Does the facility have one?
That's your man, Taggart, talking about removing implanted GPL devices so that the people who took Sarif scientists could cover it up.
I see what's going on here. Sarif Industries has received 2 black eyes in the last few days. The first, due to the shocking news coming out of Montreal that biotech companies are secretly participating in unethical super soldier experiments. And the second, as a result of their violent escalation of today's peaceful protest. David Sarif and his corporate bedfellows are desperate and in imminent danger of losing the regulation vote, so this man has been sent here to attack my reputation.
I'm right here, Taggart. Look at me. I admit, I wouldn't feel bad if your reputation was damaged in front of the press, since you've been doing the same to my colleagues for years. But that's not why I'm here. Sarif scientists are alive, and it's time for the truth to come out.
The truth, Mr. Jensen, is that this recording of yours proves nothing. It could have been made by anyone in the world with a grudge against Humanity Front, and you are our prime suspect. Mr. Jensen? If you have nothing more to say, would you mind leaving, please?
You're right, it's not enough to get a conviction. But it's enough for a search warrant. That's all I want, Taggart. Why are you standing in the way?
I'm not. I'm trying to protect... Look, Mr. Jensen. My heart goes out to you. Perhaps it's best that you came to me rather than bringing this recording to the police. You need it to be some kind of proof because you're still suffering. You're trying to find someone else to blame for the emotional trauma you experienced when you woke up from that surgery and discovered you were no longer quite human.
I can worry about myself later. What's really important now is the 5 innocent people whose lives were stolen from them during that attack. Sandoval knows where they are. Now where is he?
There. Do you see what you just did? The way you avoided talking about your real problem? What do you expect to gain here today, Mr. Jensen? Were you hoping that confronting me publicly like this would somehow restore your sense of control and enable you to look at yourself in the mirror again?
You want to talk about control, Taggart? Let's talk about yours. It takes a lot of discipline to stand up in front of the press every time a pro-augmentation company or clinic is assaulted and then deny responsibility. How does it feel to know your people are so out of control they would resort to violence like that?
It tears me apart. But I cannot allow myself to feel guilty for the misguided actions of others. I founded Humanity Front to prevent others from suffering the way I suffered after an augmentation addict murdered my wife. I did it to reduce the amount of violence in this world, but you cannot understand such an approach. That's why you falsely claim my people are involved in terrorist acts. You're mistaken and you're lying.
What happened to your wife was tragic. But what's happening to Sarif's scientist is going on right now, and you have a chance to do something about it. You have nothing to lose if Sandoval's innocent. And if he isn't, you can preserve your reputation by helping me. Why won't you do that?
Because I have given you every opportunity to explain yourself rationally, and you have consistently failed to do so. You refuse to be reasonable. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. Clearly, Mr. Jensen wants to make it impossible for us to do what we had planned today. I'm going to retire briefly, and once Mr. Jensen has left, we can continue. Thank you.
Watch it, sir. There are guards everywhere. Any attempt on Mr. Taggart will be met with deadly force.
You shouldn't be here. Get moving.
Any idea how long before the speech is over?
Not too long. I'll escort Taggart backstage and you make sure he'll be present.
Holy
Got your
shit!
back.
What's that?
I heard that. Come out. Come on out.
Need a better spot. I'm gonna get you.
Cost letters posted.
Yep. Backstage area is completely blocked off. The janitor can't get back.
Human evolution is a fantasy, but that is exactly what I am telling you. As a world...
Where's your sidekick, Taggart? 6 months ago, Sarif Industries was attacked by mercenaries whose objective was to cripple our research. But I've learned the attack was just a smokescreen. Megan Reed's team was kidnapped, and Isaiah Sandoval, your personal aide, was involved.
That is ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for Mr. Jensen's intrusion, and I assure you that these accusations are without basis.
Are they?
This is Sandoval. Why are you calling me here?
There's been a change of plans. Serif's team must not make it to the hearing.
But that's too soon. If you want me to remove the GPLs, I'll need a full operating suite. Does the facility have one?
That's your man, Taggart, talking about removing implanted GPL devices so that the people who took Sarif scientists could cover it up.
I see what's going on here. Sarif Industries has received 2 black eyes in the last few days. The first, due to the shocking news coming out of Montreal that biotech companies are secretly participating in unethical super soldier experiments. And the second, as a result of their violent escalation of today's peaceful protest. David Sarif and his corporate bedfellows are desperate and in imminent danger of losing the regulation vote, so this man has been sent here to attack my reputation.
I'm right here, Taggart. Look at me. I admit, I wouldn't feel bad if your reputation was damaged in front of the press, since you've been doing the same to my colleagues for years, but that's not why I'm here. Sarif scientists are alive, and it's time for the truth to come out.
The truth, Mr. Jensen, is that this recording of yours proves nothing. It could have been made by anyone in the world with a grudge against Humanity Front, and you are our prime suspect.
You're right, it's not enough to get a conviction. But it's enough for a search warrant. That's all I want, Taggart. Why are you standing in the way?
I'm not. I'm trying to protect... Look, Mr. Jensen. I know why you came here instead of taking your recording to the police. I know the real reason for your accusations, and you're not entirely to blame for what you're doing. It is common, after trauma such as the one you suffered, to fixate on the event, to stay blocked in the past. In a word, you're obsessed.
I can worry about myself later. What's really important now is the 5 innocent people whose lives were stolen from them during that attack. Sandoval knows where they are. Now, where is he?
I don't want to see anyone's lives stolen from them. If you could see your situation clearly, you would realize you're being driven by your losses. Your actions are motivated by an attempt to regain a sense of control at my expense. You're turning me into your enemy when I'm not.
I don't have to make you my enemy, Taggart. Your actions speak for themselves. You started the anti-augmentation movement, and now anti-augmentation terrorist groups are making headlines every day. You always say Humanity Front isn't violent. But look outside. We're seeing proof that it is.
The violence is a terrible thing. I do not advocate it, but nor can I deny it exists. I founded Humanity Front to prevent others from suffering the way I suffered, after an augmentation addict murdered my wife. I did it to reduce the amount of violence in this world, but you cannot understand such an approach. That's why you falsely claim my people are involved in terrorist acts. You're mistaken and you're lying.
I know about your wife's murder, Mr. Taggart, and how it led you to start Humanity Front. I've lost someone close to me too, but I have a chance to get her back. If Sandoval is involved in Megan's abduction in any way, he dishonored your wife's memory. For her sake, and for the sake of my people, I need to know where he is.
All right, Mr. Jensen. You're right. For Marjorie's sake, I can't risk tainting the integrity of what I built in her name. I'll help you find Isaiah, and I pray that you are wrong about him. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize, but I'm going to have to beg your indulgence for a few moments more. If you will all please remain patient, I will return as soon as I can. Thank you. Mr. Jensen, I'll see you backstage.
All report violent clashes taking place outside the doors of such well-known biotechnology firms as
Mr. Jensen, I appreciate you allowing me to deal with this in a more discreet manner.
Save it, Taggart. You've wasted enough of my time as it is. Now where's Sandoval?
He has an apartment he uses when in this city, on Grand River Road. He mentioned he was feeling very run down, so I can only assume he went there.
I see.
He's not an evil man, Mr. Jensen. If he's done what you say, it's only because of his brother, Ezekiel. A man you might know better as Zeke Sanders.
Sanders? The man who attacked Sarah's manufacturing plant?
I knew nothing about it until after it was over, and then I tried. I tried to convince Isaiah not to follow in his footsteps.
Good job.
Mr. Jensen, please. Isaiah has done so much for so many needy people, people suffering from implant rejection. Promise me you will deal with him fairly.
That all depends on Isaiah.
I understand, but please try.
Detroit, Toronto, Mumbai, and Rio de Janeiro all report violent clashes taking place. outside the doors of such well-known biotechnology firms as Kusanagi, Isolay, and Seraph Industries. The footage sparking the riots appears to show scientists performing crude, torture-like experiments on teams of augmented super soldiers. Just minutes ago, Zhao Yunfu, CEO of the Taiyong Medical Corporation, commented on the images.
I want the world to know that we at Taiyong Medical have not and never will condone these experiments. This company prides itself on maintaining a safe environment and an ethical approach to research at all times. We invite critics and members of the UN to tour our facilities firsthand.
I know everyone's involved with the riots. I'm Jensen? I almost didn't recognize you. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, what are the chances? Do you remember me? I was a rookie when you still rolled in SWAT.
Nikki. Of course I remember you. How you been? The brass got you on riot control too?
Yeah, I am. Or I was until... Damn it. Look, something big is going down, and I'm kind of freaking out here. You remember that MCBer, Jacob White? You busted him a couple of times.
Yeah, I remember him. Assault and possession. He's still running rackets?
No, I mean, yeah, shit, I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter, because he's moved on to bigger things.
Nikki, slow down.
Listen, hear me out. I just got word he has his hands on some real military-grade explosives. The prick's got a fucking bomb, Adam. And you know how much he hates the PD. He's going to hit us while we have our pants down with the riots. You gotta help us out here.
Nikki, I'm kind of busy. If he's got a bomb, just call it in and follow procedure.
What do you think I've been doing? I've been on the horn all night, and my CO already sent a patrol over to Jacob's house. We've got a warrant, so they searched the place, but nothing came up, not even Jacob. Now they're saying my CI is probably full of shit and just fucking with me. Bullshit! Jacob's using the riots as cover, and he's going to hit us, and hit us hard. Adam, I need you to trust me on this. You gotta help me find Jacob.
What is it exactly that you need me to do?
You mean you'll help me out? Really?
I didn't say that. Assuming I did agree to help, what would you need me to do exactly?
Oh. Well, based on Jacob's history and his new political agenda, I can almost guarantee he's going after cops. I've warned everyone working street detail and anyone else who'd listen to keep an eye out. But with half the force tied up with the protests and rioting, I can't get the manpower for a proper search. I need you to check a few spots my CI thinks Jacob could be at, and take care of the threat if you can. Even if you find nothing, great. It put my mind at ease, at least.
How did White even manage to get his hands on explosives?
My source says he got the bomb materials from some government stash out in Highland Park. It's all I know so far. But it all fits! He was last seen ranting at a rally about shattering the foundation of the hypocrisy or some bullshit like that. You know, quoting Che Guevara and talking about violent revolution.
Did he have the shirt, too?
What? Anyway, he practically named the date and time of this reckoning. And it's tonight. It has to be.
So why is it nobody trusts your source?
He used to run with White's old crew, but he's a 3-strike perk facing a dime on some damn parole violation. He's trying to cop a deal, so nobody trusts him. Thing is, I know he's reliable. He hasn't bullshitted me yet. and I don't think he's doing it now.
I have to admit, Nikki, I'm having a hard time believing White could come up with something like this. He can barely tie his own shoelaces without tripping all over himself.
That was then. This is now. After his last stint in Standish, he got bug-eyed crazy. Started talking about how the gang war in Derelict Row was all part of a government plot, and it's time he did something about it.
I remember him saying that augmented kid we took down last year was a cover-up.
Exactly! And he's been railing against Wayne Haas, the PD, and anyone else involved in that ever since. I'm telling you, Adam, he's been getting more and more violent. Now he's got explosives, and we've got a giant bullseye painted on our ass.
Fine, I'll help. Let's go over what we know. Just the facts.
What we know? Just the facts? What we know is he's certified batshit crazy, hates cops, quotes Che Guevara, and got his hands on military-grade explosives. What more do you need to know? Oh, Christ, man. I've got nobody to help me, and I can't even breathe. How am I supposed to find this guy? The bomb could be right under us, right now!
Nikki, you're a mess. Calm the fuck down and think.
You're right. You're right. It's just... Oh, this is big. I mean, I've never been on the heels of something like this before. People could die. We could die.
Just focus, okay? We know that White hates cops, so his first target is probably gonna be the precinct or somewhere nearby. Make sense?
Yeah, okay. But it could be anywhere. He wouldn't risk going to the precinct. Too many people would recognize him. That leaves the transit station, the sewers, and the alleys around the precinct. Look, I need to stay here and report any leads to my CO. Can you check those locations for Jacob? Or his bomb?
No problem. Anything else you can give me?
I don't know. You remember what White looks like, right? Tall, Caucasian, skinhead? He's not the quietest guy, so you'll probably hear him before you see him.
Yeah, a real philosopher king. I remember.
Yeah, so if you just keep your eyes and ears open, I'm sure you'll find him. Also, I heard he's had some major augmentation work done. I'd be extra careful around him. I think the White we used to know has been replaced with something much worse.
Got it.
I know it's a long shot, but I'm hoping we get backup to expand the search. In the meantime, we can check those areas, and who knows, maybe we'll catch a break. Oh, and Jensen, please don't turn him into a martyr. I'd prefer him breathing.